Hello, I'm Jeff, and welcome to English, English, English. Today, I'm going to try something a little different. Today, I'm going to do a podcast or a conversation talking about my weekend. This is going to be more aimed for intermediate level because I might ramble or I might use some more advanced or intermediate words, but let's begin. Okay, so I just rewatched the video, and I think this might be more of an advanced video. Let me know what you think, and if you can understand it, or if it's too fast, let me know. Thank you. Back to the video. So, we'll start with Friday. On Friday, I like to ride my bike, and it's not a road bike and it's not a mountain bike. It's an in between. So it's called a gravel bike. So I took my gravel bike to a spot I ride a fair amount. So I've ridden it before and I've ridden it multiple times. And it's a forest. It's a forest with some dirt roads. And I was riding my bike through a section or a path, and I looked in the forest and I saw two people digging in the ground and rummaging, looking through the grass and the ground around the trees. And I was wondering, what are these people doing? Because before, when I've ridden my bike along the road, I've seen people doing the same thing, but off the side of the road. They're in the forest looking for stuff. So when I finished my bike ride and I got home, I went on the internet and I looked up what would people be looking for in the forest in Canada at this time. And it turns out people are foraging. So foraging is looking for plants or mushrooms that grow in the wild. And the two common ones are called ramps, which are also known as wild garlic or wild leeks. And the other one is called morel mushrooms. Remember morel mushrooms, because this comes up later. Um, so I was like, wow, that's really cool. Um, the mushrooms look funny. They kind of look like a brain, and they're probably this big. And they grow at the bottom of trees, near certain trees, such as elm trees and apple trees, and in forests where it's moist or damp. The ground is moist or damp. See, I'm rambling. Anyways, I looked up some recipes and it sounds like they're really good. So these morels only grow in the wild, so they're very expensive. And if you see them at the store, they're $60 a pound. So they're really expensive, kind of hard to find. And then the ramps people use like green onions or spinach because they have tall leaves. And you can cut it up and fry it with your eggs. And people make a pesto out of it. So a sauce ground up and they put it on pasta. And so I thought, cool, I should do that. I want to find morel mushrooms and ramps. And on Saturday, I went to my parents' house because they have a forest behind their house. So I went to their house on Saturday and I go into the forest and I'm looking around and I'm trying to find what an elm tree looks like because at first I didn't know what it looks like, but now I have a better idea. what the leaves look like. They're a little more round, and the bark, so the skin of the tree, is really squishy and soft, which is kind of neat. I didn't know that before. But where I live, there's tons of maple trees, like maple syrup. There's tons. And I'm looking in the woods, I'm looking, and I didn't find anything. I can't find anything. And so I go back to my parents' house and I'm asking my dad, hey, like, do you know what an elm tree looks like? Because I'm looking for something. And he's like, yeah, I have. Like, what are you looking for? And I'm saying, oh, these mushrooms, morel mushrooms. And I show him a picture and he goes, wait, I've seen these. We have them here. And I'm like, what do you mean? Just like growing? He's like, yeah, on the lawn in our backyard. I'm like, no way. Okay, let's go see. So we walk over across the lawn and along, so beside the fence on the ground in the middle of the yard are morel mushrooms just growing. Just like one here, one there, another there. I'm like, what? This is nothing what it says online. Online, it's like you want a slope, you want it south facing. So where it's facing the south, so the sun hits it at a certain time, and it needs to be moist near dead, dying trees, all these things. I don't know if you can see. This is my girlfriend's dog. Echo, come here. This is my girlfriend's dog. His name is Echo. He's a Great Dane. Can you say hi, Echo? No. Hey, buddy. I'm trying to do a video right now. Do you want to be in the video? He's just sniffing the mic. Yeah, so there's tons of these mushrooms just on the ground. I'm like, okay, so I pick a few, and then he's like, oh, there's another one over there near a cedar tree. And I'm like, they're not supposed to be near cedar trees, but there's a big one just sitting there. I pluck it. I have a whole collection of them. And to find if they're real morel mushrooms, they're hollow on the inside. So it's a solid shape, but if you cut it open, there's nothing inside. So it's hollow. And I cut them all open. They're hollow. They're good. They're real. My mom says, don't eat them. You're going to get sick. You're going to die. My dad's like, I'm not sure if you should eat these. But I put them in water. I soaked them for a while with some salt because it helps pull out the bugs and cleans them. So I soak them, I clean them, and then I pat them dry with some paper towel. And cooking them is really easy. So I just put them in a frying pan, cut in half. I put them in a frying pan and a big piece of butter. So I let the butter melt and get a little bubbly. And then I put the mushrooms in with some salt and pepper, and it smelled really good. They smell really good. And then I put a splash online on the internet. They said to put a little bit of white wine. So we put a splash of white wine, stir-fried them up, and then I ate them straight out of the frying pan. And they're delicious. They're very, very good. I highly recommend you try them. It was really cool to like find something in the ground just at my parents' house in the backyard and then clean it and cook it and eat it just straight from the ground. It was really nice to do that because nowadays you go straight to the supermarket and you just buy and you don't see the full life of what you're eating. So I highly recommend if you see them or if you know any spots, because I also went today to look for them and I couldn't find them anywhere. I looked for maybe 2 hours in the forest and I couldn't find any. I found some ramps, so the wild leeks, wild garlic, I found some of those, and I'm gonna make them tomorrow with my eggs. but I couldn't find any mushrooms. So I'm not sure if the season's over, because I think you have a little bit of May here in Canada before they're gone, or if other creatures ate them. I'm assuming they would. So I think that other creatures would smell them and eat it. But yeah, that's my little story about foraging, finding mushrooms and ramps, and trying something different in this podcast and in life with eating and trying different things. So if you made it this far in the video, I appreciate it, and thank you for listening. If you like more of these videos, let me know in the comments, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.